streaming from the ABC Action Weather Center in Studio A. This is Dennis Phillips Live. Brought to you by Storm Smart. Protect every opening of your home. And by Generex Generators. Life is primitive without power.
All right, how you doing, everybody? Meteorologist Greg D back with you for the fourth day here of DPL. Got a lot planned. I'm always running out of time. This show flies by so fast. We've got a lot of information to cover, a lot of stuff I've prepared. This is how I find myself. I find myself preparing more for this show during the day than anything else I do here at the TV station. Hope you're having a great Thursday. We are almost to the week. Could you believe it? This week has flown by, and I think part of it is probably this show. It certainly makes it go by very quickly. If you're watching On the Spot 66, a little programming note for you. Tomorrow, there will be no DPL on the Spot 66, and that's because we will be simulcasting a WNBA game, and I believe that's going to happen the next 4 Fridays in a row. The show, however, will go on, and it will go on, of course, on the streaming channel and over toward our Facebook pages. So make sure you are following us there. If you still want to watch, we're still going to be there. For those of you on social, that means, and on the streaming channel, we're not going to be rolling ads tomorrow. So it's going to be more content so I can get more of this stuff in. If I don't get to something cool here today, we can definitely save it for tomorrow because we'll have a little bit more time to talk about this. Thanks so much for joining us. If you are, make sure you are in the chat as well. I see as folks are coming on this evening. Yes, we have more and more folks coming on. What's up, everybody? Hey, Jamil, how you doing? Amanda says, hey, Greg. Bill, hey, Greg. Okay, somebody here was not nice. Who was that? Who's Joe? Who's Joe Skid? Is he not nice? Joe, do you know how this show goes? We don't start with any information, Joe. I'm sorry to break it for you. There's no information in the beginning. It's just this. This is an interactive show. It's just a whole bunch of folks hanging out on TV over towards social media. We talk, we interact, and we have a lot of fun. Negativity gets you banned, and that's the ban button. So if I've got to hit that again, someone's getting cut from the stream. And not only do you get cut from this stream, but you're not going to be able to rejoin any more DPL streams. That's it. We're cutting you off. I guess you could still watch on TV if you really wanted to, but that's going to be a little bit more effort. So that's what you got to do. You got to watch on TV if we ban you from the stream. Hey, Sean, what's going on? Says, yo, Greg, what's up, everybody? Oh, no, the ban button right away. I'm just demonstrating, Mary. I'm just demonstrating. Joe got a little frisky, a little fresh. Just thought, I'd kind of put that out there. It's better to get that at the start of the class so we know what the expectations are until the very end of the period, right? All right, well, Joe does want some information, so let's talk about some information out there. Let's actually get to a little bit of local weather, get that out of the way because I've got so much planned. We got to hit our first break in about 3 to 4 minutes, so let's get right to it. Love the way the sky looks, by the way, from our studio camera. There are clouds out to the west. Unfortunately, they are not producing any rain anymore. We got hot today, and you might have noticed it too. It was really, really hot. Low 90s out there, 92 the high in Tampa. It was really, really warm. Stand by. I got to go get this clicker. This thing is way too far away. I'm going to do a Dennis. Just get up and walk away. This is what we do. We just walk away from the camera. Who needs the camera? 8:30 is your sunset. That has yet to move back to 8:29. It will soon. I promise you that. The days are getting shorter. They're just getting shorter on the morning side. The record was 96. Amazing how close the record and the normal high temperatures are this time of year. Other high temperatures, did you feel it at your house? How hot was it? 95 Plant City. Now, Plant City, Thenoto Sassa, up to like the USF area, down through Riverview. These are some of the hottest locations in the county and really in the Bay Area. What happens is you're far enough from the Bay and the Gulf that you don't get the sea breeze. If you do get the sea breeze, which you do in an onshore flow day like today, it gets in so late, you've already hit your high. You've already hit that crazy high temperature, and then you cool down. 94 Winter Haven today, 93 over towards Avon Park. There was some rain out there, believe it or not, but look at the radar now. There's almost nothing. DeSoto County, just a little bit of shower activity. That is all that's left. Let me zoom in here and show you guys. Oh, man, Arcadia, it was storming earlier. Lake Placid, Avon Park, Sebring, you guys just got absolutely walloped by the rain. This goes back an hour. Let me set this radar to go back 3 hours, because that's when I think you'll really see the difference. Let's see if I can make it do that. Well, maybe I think I can. There you go. 3 hours ago. Look at that. I mean, there was a big thunderstorm right on top of DeSoto County, lightning and all. We had a ton of it. It's now gone. Absolutely gone out there. Mary, yes, stinking hot. It is stinking hot out there. Absolutely crazy. Cindy says, I looked at the thermometer. This is the shade, and it says 99. I believe it. You know, some places, if you're away from the water, it could have easily been up. We had 97 in Riverview earlier, so 99 is not that impossible. Here's the wider view. The only showers that are left over there towards Sumter County. There's actually a little bit of a downpour. Kind of a rural area, southern Sumter County. That's going to be just south of 98 or Highway 50 between Groveland and over toward the Hernando County line. That's about it. Winter Garden, maybe probably hearing some thunder out there. Unlike the last couple nights, there's not a ton of rain out on the East Coast, out towards Orlando, where it's just basically cloudy. You have some clouds spreading toward Tampa, but that's about it. So for the rest of the evening, I really don't expect much. Futurecast kind of hinting at maybe another pop-up shower or two, very small out there. Temperatures by tomorrow morning back down into the 70s. And I really don't see huge changes in terms of the weather for tomorrow. We'll start off in the upper 70s, low 80s early. Folks, get ready. It's just going to be really, as was it Mary that said, that stinking hot tomorrow? It's going to be stinking hot out there. 92 degrees by 2 o'clock. By 5 o'clock, we're near 90, and then maybe back into the 80s by 8 o'clock in the evening. Hey, Laura, happy Friday Eve. That's awesome. We've already gotten 100. The software I'm using, Restream, just congratulated me. We've reached 100 messages today. Only 100? You guys are typing too slow. Let's pick up the pace. Let's get to 1,000 on this show. Hey, Gary. Hey, Dave. Everyone's watching today. It rained in Zephyr Hills. Ryan, I saw that. I actually pulled up the radar at 5, and I wasn't ready for it. I didn't have a view set for Pasco County, but thankfully, I started with a wide view, and I have the ability to do a zoom with my fingers. It's like a touch screen. And I saw that lightning over Zephyr Hills, like, no, we got to start there. And I zoomed right in, and sure enough, Dade City, Zephyr Hills got a nice little downpour earlier this afternoon. So here's tomorrow, hour by hour. Now, here's the deal. And the models are still showing this. Now, there may be a quick shower in the morning, but look at this. Look at 11:30. This is now the third day in a row that Futurecast is showing a little bit more rain along the coast, midday or early afternoon. I got to tell you, the timing on this is plus or minus 2 hours. Futurecast is not good at timing this stuff out anymore. So, yeah, it's within 2 hours of noon. There may be something as the sea breeze gets into western Hillsborough, maybe even northern Pinellas County. Now, I wouldn't bet on these exact locations, but I've lived here long enough, I can tell you, if we do get anything activated with this West Coast sea breeze, it happens to be Keystone, East Lake, Citrus Park, Oldsmar, and then you could get some activity south of the Skyway, Manatee and Sarasota near 75 or 301. That is absolutely possible. Now, you guys know how this works. This is a blessing and a curse at the same time. The blessing is you get heavy rain and the temperature drops into the low 80s, maybe even some upper 70s. The curse is these showers, because they're happening at midday, they move away in 20 minutes and then it gets right back up to the low 90s. The sun hits that wet pavement and it feels hotter an hour after the rain than it did before the rain even moves out. Then as we go into tomorrow afternoon, scattered in the interior, Futurecast showing maybe the Orlando area getting slammed again if you're traveling up that way for the weekend tomorrow. Yeah, and actually, here's the tip. If you're going over to Orlando this weekend for any of the theme parks, definitely prepare for some evening storms. Hey, Gail J. Monroe from Palmetto. Hey, what's going on? Thank you for saying hello. Love Palmetto. A couple of schools I visit down there quite a bit. Cloveport, Kentucky. Jason, wow. Okay, how did you find us? Okay, so for those of you that are watching not from the Bay Area, how in the world did you find us? Saturday morning, we've got mostly dry weather, and then Saturday afternoon, maybe more rain near the coast as the sea breeze gets going, and then a little bit more coverage as we go into the afternoon. Let me show you the 7-day forecast because I do want to show you what's happening next week. Higher rain coverage starting on Monday. 60, 70, maybe 80% some days. And that's going to be related to the tropics. We'll talk about that coming up. Whew, all right, almost missed that break. I got so carried away, y'all. Folks on the spot are now in their break. I got so carried away, almost missed it. We're going to have to take that next break a lot faster. So we're going to have to go through the tropics pretty quickly. By the way, something special coming up. I think we're going to do that maybe in the last segment. You know, I think we're going to let's keep the tropics regular, and then we'll get into something a little fun towards the end. I've got a little surprise for you guys. Looks like a few more seconds left, about a minute. How's everybody doing? Newport Richie here. Jamil, I know you're from Trinidad, watching us from down there. Hello from Spring Hill. Hey, Lori, New Hampshire. A friend from a friend in Florida. Hey, all right, I love that. That's how you find out about this. Yes, please stay hydrated. You know I go running mid to late morning, not the best time to go, but I always drink water before, drink during the run, and then I drink water with a hydration tablet afterwards. And I still feel absolutely exhausted after my runs. Today was better. I started about an hour earlier than before, but folks, you got to really plan out your days around this. Hey, Lori from Dunedin, we loved being there a couple of weeks ago on the morning show. I had so much fun. Dunedin is such an amazing, I would live there if it wasn't a 45, 50-minute drive to work every morning. You know, I get up at 2 a.m. I can't have that long of a commute. All right, let's welcome back the folks on the spot. All right, if you're watching on the spot, welcome back from your first break. Got 2 more to go. Let's get into the tropics. We've been chatting here with the folks over on the chat. Deb is watching from Punta Gorda, Southwest Florida in the house. I love that. Yeah, Lori, Dunedin is just amazing. And we're talking about the morning show being down in Dunedin. All right, let's talk about the tropics. By the way, you guys can vote in the chat. Let me know, would you like the graphics full screen or do you want to split like this with me? I don't know if you don't want, I don't need you to see me, but if you prefer for me to be waving my hands next to the graphics, I can keep it up that way as well. Kemi, is it Kemi from Bradenton? I love that. St. Pete Beach, Alexandra, what a beautiful place to be. Let's talk about this because this is going to be something that is, I think this is good news, okay? Oh, Denis says full. If you're watching on a smaller device, I agree. Maybe this will look better if it is on the full side. So let's transition over, and then you definitely want to look at your screen because this is some good news from Colorado State that came out today, and that is they have updated their hurricane forecast. They do this 3 times through the season. This is their second update. The first one was in April, and they have lowered all of their numbers. Now, just by one fewer named storms, 1 fewer hurricanes, 1 fewer major hurricanes. But there are some really important reasons for that. And this is what I didn't get to do during the news today, but because on DPL we've got the time, here are the reasons they listed why they have lowered their numbers. And this is good news. Remember, the average number of storms is 14. They're going to 16. So it's just a little bit more active than average. First of all, higher Caribbean shear. We've seen that strong shear all across the Caribbean this season. It has been really tearing these tropical waves apart. The reason they think that when you have this in June and July, you're going to get fewer storms later in the season. Neutral Pacific, that sounds complicated. Sometimes in the Pacific we have a La Nina, sometimes we have an El Nino. Both affect the tropics in the Atlantic. This year it looks like things are going to stay neutral. No La Nina, no El Nino. So that means no major impacts on the Atlantic hurricane season from the Pacific. Good news. And the third one, I got a little cheeky there. Warm-ish water. What does that mean? The waters are warmer than average, but they are not as hot as last year. That is certainly good news. And the Hurricane Center doesn't see anything developing over the next 7 days. Yes, we're still watching that tropical wave out there in the southwestern Atlantic north of the Bahamas, but it ain't doing anything, y'all. It is not doing a thing. It's moving offshore now. It's moving out towards Bermuda in the Atlantic. So even if it did its thing, it did something, doesn't matter. It's not going to bother us. I've got nothing that I'm even remotely concerned about. The biggest flare-up on this map is the one here near Panama. That could actually become something in the Pacific next week. We'll watch that. I'll post updates on my Facebook page if it tries to turn toward Mexico. But it's starting so far south, it's likely going to stay south of the Mexican coast. And then the other thing that's working in our favor, that giant, huge dust cloud, Saharan dust, that's still spinning out there too. And that's not going to give you any storms. It's accompanied by a lot of dry air. And you know, we're still watching that area for next week in the northern Caribbean, or the northern Gulf, I should say. I do want to show you this before we have to go out to our next break. Let's look at the models, because the models are starting to hint at something. So you're looking at the GFS here, and I'm going to advance this past the weekend into next week. You see that? I don't know if you guys can make that out, so I'm going to circle it for you. That's a low. That's an area of low pressure that the GFS is showing. Nothing strong, but it's showing a low pressure in the northern Gulf, some scattered rain around it, scattered clouds as well. And it just kind of drifts that system. This is Thursday next week. Friday, it's kind of south of Pensacola, just kind of hangs out south of the Mississippi Delta, just hanging out. And actually, some of the models even indicate, like the GFS here, maybe some enhancement to the rain, some heavier rain across the panhandle from this, maybe a depression or weak tropical storm, but it stays out west. Now, my concern is this is Monday of next week. It's still there. So we could be looking at a flood threat somewhere across the northern Gulf Coast next week if this thing forms. Now, that's the GFS. What about the Euro, right? The Euro is more reasonable. So this is Friday, Saturday. I know I'm moving fast. Sunday, Monday, because I'm not concerned about anything through the weekend. Tuesday, we're okay. Wednesday, we're okay. Thursday, we're still okay. Now, remember, Thursday, GFS already has a low. This is the Euro. No low, but it does show some showers and storms out over the Gulf waters. And then not as aggressive with this until you maybe get to early next week. Early next week, it does maybe hint, the Euro does, at some weak low pressure somewhere in the eastern or northern Gulf. You know, I'm not really concerned about this. To me, it's just not looking like a big concern, but I do want to show you this. I've got one more I do want to pull up. The European for that period, it's definitely circling that area. So what you see is the area here, there in the blues, is where the European thinks there's a 25 to 30% chance of seeing a tropical depression develop. That would be sometime next weekend. 20 to 30%. It's not a lot, but it's in that same ballpark as the GFS. So it's certainly possible. So that's definitely something we're going to have to watch. All right, something fun coming up as we get into some sciencey things. I think this is going to become a new segment. Make sure you stick around because I've got something fun. Stay with us. All right, everybody, break number 2. Yeah, this is great. I'm so excited about this. In fact, I don't want to spoil it, but earlier today, and this came from actually one of you guys. Diana, are you on here? Diana was the person responsible for this. She sent me something overnight, and it just sparked an idea, and I just thought it was great. I was putting it into the system today, and while I was putting into the system, Shay Ryan was at the green screen, which is off to the right. She was doing the weather during the 4 o'clock newscast. And there's a period when she's standing on the far side of the screen. She's looking at the side monitor. She can see this monitor behind me. And that's where I was working. And I was putting this graphic in. Oh, yeah, Diana's here. I was putting this graphic in. And literally, she literally almost messed up. She almost lost it during the weather at 4 o'clock because of, well, what Diana added to the show. So we'll take a look at that here coming up. I think this could catch on. I think we could take this even a step further when I fill in again on DPL coming up at the end of the month. So I'm back here for a week starting July 28th into that first week of August. We'll see what we can do with this, Diana. We've got some ideas. All right, 10 more seconds for the folks on the spot. We need to send Greg aside. Oh, well, Richard, stand by. Stand by with that science-y hat. We may be on to something. All right. All right, welcome back, everybody. If you are watching on the spot, I'm meteorologist Greg D. We are back with DPL filling in for Dennis today. I am going to take the graphics full screen because I think this deserves it, okay? So by the way, if you're not following me, my Instagram has just blown up the last couple of days. I put up a video about the earthquakes at Mount Rainier. It's gotten like 1.5 million views. There's all kinds of crazy comments underneath. It's just taking a life on its own. Join the craziness on the Instagram, @GregDWeather, Facebook if that's where you're watching. Okay, so maybe I should double box. Maybe double boxing this would be the way to go. I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to premiere this. So Diana sent me a message on Facebook and said, you know, every time you say you're going to get science-y, I think of something. And she said it kind of inspired me. So she used some AI or Photoshop or whatever. Check out what she came up with. Let's get science-y, science-y. It's just, I love this. So yes, Richard, not a science hat. I have already ordered a headband that looks like that, so that when we get science-y, I think this is what we're going to do. This is going to be the name of the segment, Let's Get Science-y with Greg D. That's what it's going to be. You know what? At least AI is good for something. Oh my gosh, you guys, let me know what you think. Are you guys laughing? Because I mean, it kind of has me looking a little older. I kind of like the look. I kind of look like maybe I'm in my 50s. Maybe we're getting ready to like a chair exercise class. I don't know. All right, let's get science-y. Let's check in on Mount Rainier. Then we'll go to a break and we'll check in on one more thing. So we've been talking about the earthquakes. I know it's hard to recover from Let's Get Science-y. But here we go. We continue to have earthquakes around Mount Rainier. I've actually had a couple of folks, based on this Instagram post that it asking me, is it safe to get out there? So this is all, as the USGS categorizes, background behavior. This is not unusual for a volcano, but we have continued to see earthquakes. The little dots that you see there around the mountain, those are earthquakes in the last couple of hours, and there's been a couple. Now, again, the computer puts them on top of the surface. That's just where the location is. The actual earthquake is underneath. About 1 to 3 miles is where they have ranged on the mountain there. And an interesting update from the USGS. So, you know, these earthquakes, they have kind of caught everybody's attention, so they've been kind of issuing an afternoon update, just letting folks know this is a very popular place to go camping, hiking during the summer. If you've ever been to Mount Rainier, it is absolutely breathtaking. I was lucky to go there for an American Meteorological Society conference in June, many years back when I was in college. And we drove out there, hiked to some level, not the top obviously, but there was snow on the glacier. It was in the mid 80s. It was incredible. The views, that part of Washington, the Pacific Northwest, my goodness, the nature there just takes your breath away. Anyway, they posted another update and they did a little comparison. So yes, this is science-y, and we may have to maybe take this full screen just so you guys can see a little bit better in terms of what they're showing. So what the USGS is doing is they're comparing this swarm of earthquakes that's been happening to the one in 2009, which was the last big swarm. And they have already noted, okay, so listen to this. I actually wrote this down. This swarm has surpassed the 2009 swarm in terms of magnitude, total events, event rate, and the energy release. The graph here on the bottom is this swarm. It has gone on much longer and much more frequent than the 2009 event. But they do emphasize this is still background activity. They do not see it increasing. They don't think there's going to be volcanic activity. It's fluid moving underneath the mountain. Okay, one more break and we'll be back for another couple minutes here on DPL on the Spot. Stay with us. All right, what does everybody think? What does everybody think of the... Can we just pull that up one more time, please? I mean, let's get science-y, science-y. I don't know how to dance, though I did talk to Lauren St. Germain today. She saw this earlier. She's a dancer. We may have to do a musical number next time I fill in. Maybe some sort of sciencey dance. Oh, Shannon's asking, Cookie. Listen, Cookie yesterday heard thunder so far away, and I guess she's been traumatized by all the fireworks for the 4th of July and all the thunderstorms we've had. She didn't want to go for a walk yesterday. She walked out, she did her business, and then she led me right back home. This morning, she wants to go for a walk, long walk, because she knows it's going to be quiet. It's amazing how they learn. I don't know if you guys have a pet that's traumatized by the fireworks, obviously, for the 4th of July, but also the thunder that we get here in the afternoon. It's hard. I know Cookie is definitely definitely gets very, very nervous when it comes to that. All right, let's get past the sciencey because I've got one more cool thing to show you guys. We only have about a couple of minutes when we come back from this break, so this is going to be fast. I got the spot folks coming back in about 10 seconds. I know, poor girl, right? I can't believe it. I wish I could help her, but yeah, she just gets spooked. All right, here we go. All right, welcome back on the spot. We've got 3 more minutes left of DPL, and we are going to talk a little bit about more science. Now, we talked about the earthquakes in Mount Rainier, so I just wanted to kind of get past that, the activity at Mount Rainier. Let's go to another volcano. I am going to take this, I think, full screen because I think it just looks cooler. Let's go to another volcano, this one farther west. This is just cool video, but there is always a science lesson, right? We are getting sciencey here, so we're going to hold on, everybody. This is a lot of movement in the camera. We're going to jump across to the Central Pacific to our beautiful paradise in the Pacific, and those are the Hawaiian Islands. I don't know if you guys know the science behind this, but there literally is a hot spot under the Hawaiian Islands. And the islands are floating on the Pacific, on this hot spot. So what they're doing is the Hawaiian Islands are moving that way. And the hot spot, I don't know if I probably do have something I can mark the hot spot with. It's probably not perfect. I can put a little fire there. So that's the hot spot. That hot spot is always there. It does not move. Every island that has been formed in the chain of Hawaiian Islands was once over that hot spot. And as it sits over that hot spot, the hot spot gets active, magma comes up towards the surface, and an island forms. The island moves away, and then a new one forms. So this is happening on the Big Island right now. The Big Island has been sitting over that hot spot for quite some time. And as you guys know, if you've been out there, there's a volcano. Kilauea is what it is. The Big Island is just a volcano sticking out of the ocean. And it was erupting yesterday. And the video, 9-hour continuous eruption, the USGS posted this. I had to show this because it was incredible. That plume of lava reached 1,200 feet into the air, shooting lava magma 3,000-4,000 degrees, maybe hotter. Some of you probably know. Now, is this a danger? No. It's at the Hawaii Volcano National Park. There's a national park around this. But sometimes it can get active enough where the lava can flow outside of the park and actually create more island. One day, this big island is going to move off the hot spot, and a new Hawaiian island will form. So the United States got an amazing deal when they got Hawaii because this island will continue to get bigger and bigger over many, many years. None of us will be here when the new island forms, okay? I can definitely say that. So for those of you that have been watching on the spot, thank you so much for joining us this evening and on streaming too, the ABC Action News Plus channel. Remember, we're only on streaming and Facebook tomorrow as the spot will air WNBA. Stay with us. All right, online folks, how do we do? How's everybody doing? All right. Oh, well, we got some wows. What are we wowing? So the photos, great question. So the 3D Earth that comes with our graphics vendor, they provide all of this information, and there is a company, there are multiple satellite companies. I know there's one called Maxar Technologies. They're kind of the scary ones because they're the ones that can literally go in after a disaster, literally the next day, and take hundreds of high-resolution images from space that are good enough to see individual people on, almost literally from space. Their satellites are, I bet some of this technology is probably sold to the government. We probably don't see the full power of these satellites, but that data goes into making these maps that our weather system uses that are pretty cool. I love the 3D. I love flying around the Earth. Being able to turn the Earth on the side really shows you where the mountains, where the volcanoes are. Yeah, that half hour zooms by fast too, right? I mean, it's like, Mary, it's like a little lesson when I'm here. I'm telling you, I'm going to prepare. I don't know what we're going to talk about tomorrow. Usually what happens is I'm kind of sitting in the morning on my computer and just kind of looking at new information that's come in. Maybe there'll be some severe weather today, and I think there will be out towards the west. We've got some thunderstorms out in the plains, some tornado watches. Maybe we'll get some cool tornado video. If not, we're definitely going to focus a lot on the weekend tomorrow with those rain chances, and I'm hoping that by tomorrow, a lot of the model data will start to kind of gel a little bit around what's going to be happening out in the Gulf next week. That's always interesting, right? I mean, you start getting closer to those dates. Maybe there'll be some more information, though. As I showed you, the Euro and the GFS, some of the runs don't have a system there, not next week. They have a system at the start of the following week. So we're really like 10 to 14 days away. And that far out, you're just not going to get a ton of information. So how about, we didn't really get to use this. I tested and demonstrated it today, but we did good. Not a lot of spammers out there. All right, so there will be DPL tomorrow, but not on the TV. Yes, that's correct, Mary. So if you have on the TV the ABC Action News app, it will still be there. But if you watch DPL on the spot, it's not going to be there. That's channel 66 if you've got an antenna. I'm not sure where it is on cable because it used to be ION. Now that it's not ION, some of the cable operators may move it to a different channel. We're not sure. It's their discretion. We don't tell them where to put it. So they may decide to move it. Right now, I believe it's where ION used to be. So that's going to be fun. Without any breaks tomorrow, I think we'll get a lot more time in, which is really, really good. Anyway, guys, hopefully, you have a wonderful evening. As usual, I'm off to eat. I'll be eating at the station today. Today is a gym day. We're going to go to the gym, which gets absolutely hammered. So many people out there this evening, but we're going to try to get a workout in. Some weights, nothing too strenuous. I already did my run this morning, so it's a 2-a-day today in the D household. Anyway, hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for joining me every evening. You guys, I had no idea what this DPL fill-in thing was going to be like, and you guys really made it easy and a lot of fun, and I hopefully you are enjoying it as I fill in. Dennis will be back next week. He'll be back to the regular shenanigans for a couple weeks before he's off again. Anyway, hope you guys have a wonderful night.